This episode is brought to you by Audi. The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. It's not just a new EV. It's a new way to experience driving. The all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron is here. The next chapter of Audi starts now.
I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does, without me lifting a finger. So I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
Hey, Fidelity. How can I remember to invest every month?
With the Fidelity app, you can choose a schedule and set up recurring investments in stocks and ETFs.
Oh, that sounds easier than I thought.
You got this.
Yeah, I do. Now, where did I put my keys?
You will find them where you left them.
Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
You're listening to the Animation Addicts Podcast, episode 232, The Best Disney I Want Songs. Welcome to the Animation Addicts Podcast with the Rotoscopers, the #1 place to get your animation fix with animation addicts just like you. Each episode, we dive into the wonderful world of animation featuring Disney, DreamWorks, Pixar, and everything in between. From hilarious discussions and movie reviews to interviews with industry insiders, this show's mission is to brighten your day through our love of animation. So hop on your nerdy couch, grab some snacks, and get ready to hang out with your animation besties because it's time to dive into today's episode. Hey there, animation addicts. I am your host, Chelsea Robson.
And I'm Morgan Stradling.
And today we are yet again having a fantastic person join our ranks, Mr. Pablo Ruiz. Woohoo!
Hi, everyone.
After our Encanto episode with Pablo, we couldn't let him go. We said, you must stay. You must come back for another episode. And graciously, he said yes. And so he is joining us for the penultimate Disney musical breakdown, the best I Want songs in Disney animation. So we are excited to have you.
Penultimate. You've been saving that word, haven't you?
I mean, just because I use fancy words in my day-to-day life does not mean... Just because they're new to you,
$5 word right there. All right. So we have been going through all of our favorite Disney musical songs. And specifically, we have been sticking within the Disney canon because there's just so many outside as well that, it's easier to round them all up. And we are going to do the same thing that we've done the last couple episodes. For our Nerdy Couch discussions, we are going to go through all of the possibilities that could have been a musical, or at least a song that could have been considered this part of that thing in that song musical thing. Anyway, Pablo, I want to know what is your definition of the I Want song, and why is it important?
I think it's really important, especially in animated movies, which are usually short and they're just like storytelling 101. And the I Want song is such an effective way of being like, this is what the main character wants. It might not be what they need, and they'll probably learn that lesson by the end of the movie, but it's definitely what they want. And it's just such an effective way of communicating that to the audience. And also, it's just some of the best songs written ever for movies are I Want songs. And we'll be talking about music from Howard Ashman and Lin-Manuel Miranda and just such legends. So I'm super excited.
Yes. So this is an interesting thing. As I've been going through all of these types of songs within movie musicals, I have discovered something. I've discovered that the I Want song is generally either track 2 or track 5 on the OST. And it's really interesting how it has played out that way. If you're ever wondering, like, if you look at a certain, it doesn't always work out this way, but most of the time, as we'll go through, and I'll make note on which ones align with this numbering system. But you can kind of tell this is the song that pushes the protagonist forward, or what drives the protagonist. It doesn't happen that way in the early years, because the early years, they didn't really have the structure. So let's just get started. And the very first song, there are 2 from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. We have 2 possibilities. And then what I think for the movies that have 2 possibilities, we'll kind of go back and forth and see if I am wrong with any of these. If I am wrong, let me know, because I have been known to get things wrong. And
you
had
never
graciously had our fans let me know when I am wrong, and it's many times. So once again, I'm okay if I'm wrong. Please help me. I put a lot of time into these, but at the same time, I'm not able to do a full all my life dedicated to right now to each one of these, but I have put in a good amount of time to try to like figure out which ones are good. So Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the 2 that we're looking at is I'm Wishing or Someday My Prince Will Come. What do you guys think is the better of the 2 I Want songs in this one? I'm wishing.
I think Someday My Prince Will Come is more,
absolutely.
More representative of her. I'm Wishing is just we're getting to know her, and both of them do show what she's looking for. She's just looking for an out. She's a slave in her own home. She's in a really tragic situation. But Someday My Prince Will Come just has a little bit more magic to it, I guess. And that when I think of her I Want song, I think of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's the one where you relate more to her. I think it's just like we're all like, someday my person will come and I'll find love. So I think that one's more relatable and just more iconic. I think like Someday My Prince Will Come is like one of the Disney classics in my head, whereas I'm Wishing I kind of forgot existed until I watched the movie recently.
Well, we did put Someday My Prince Will Come as a love song as well. So that's where I'm like,
Interesting. And there's no reason why they can't fall into both.
Yeah, we contain multitudes.
That's true.
The songs do.
All right. So that is Snow White. And then Pinocchio, we have When You Wish Upon a Star, which kind of doubles as the intro song. But also I feel like it does a good job of like showing what the point of the driving force is, maybe. We have either that or Hi Diddly Dee, An Actor's Life for Me. So.
Wow, we really do really do get a lot better with our I Want songs as we go along.
Yeah,
we really do.
It's so interesting. I had never thought about it, but obviously it's like after the Little Mermaid, it's so easy to identify it, and even like you can read interviews with like Lin-Manuel being like, I was writing an I Want song for Moana and for Encanto, and that's such a huge pressure. But yeah, when it's so hard to identify them in the old movies.
Yeah. For Cinderella, we have A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes, which standard. I love that song.
So good.
Yes. A Dream is a Wish is just a classic song. It's probably one of so far, none of these have made it onto my list. And so the way that I create my list when we're doing these is, as we go through them, if one of them piques my fancy, I take it and I add it to the list and I rearrange them at the end. Sorry, Snow White. Sorry, Pinocchio. None of those really did it for me. But this one is just so good. And it really does, I think more than the other ones, convey what she wants in her life. It's such a classic.
Yeah. All right. So for Alice in Wonderland, I mean, there's the song called Pay Attention / In My World, in a World of My Own, which does kind of explain who she is and I guess what she wants, but it's not a great song. But it's there.
Yeah.
And just, for any haters out there saying that I skipped it, it's there. the next one I have on my list is from Peter Pan. I thought, okay, you can fly, you can fly, you can fly, because that one they kind of go through and they talk about all their favorite things, which once again, these early songs don't really have the same structure as what we are used to now. But if you were to find a song that could be considered an I Want song, I think that would be the closest one. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I can see it. It's more for all three of the children at once. You know, they're kind of just seen as a unit rather than an individual, that main character that we're focusing on. I don't think it'll make my list. But it's a good song. It's just so interesting. The songs, you know, in these early days, they just, it'd be interesting to kind of look at each of these soundtracks and break them down individually, like the pre-1989, and see where we see just how these songs, like if maybe they fall into totally different categories, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, was there a different type of
are there some
structure that they were going with?
Yeah, that'd be interesting to look at.
So for Sleeping Beauty, that one was hard because Aurora isn't the main character. It's actually the fairies.
Oh.
So
a weird one.
I put, the gifts of beauty and song, and then Maleficent appears, and then true love conquers all. But tell me if I'm wrong. What if you guys think I'm wrong? Then we can look at all the songs. It's even then, like, I don't feel like there's any real good I Want song on Sleeping Beauty other than the love songs, but they're already the love songs, so we can move on.
Yeah, I think we can move
The Jungle Book. The Jungle Book is only because it says want is I want to be like you. And then also Aristocats, only because it says want, everybody wants to be a cat. So that's all I could come up with. And then we have Oliver and Company, and this is actually where it starts getting a little bit more stylized and structured. Even though they didn't quite hit the stride until Little Mermaid, I feel like Oliver and Company had more of this, and it was In Good Company. It's the song where the little girl sitting next to
you and
Oliver
me together, we'll see.
Da, 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 in good company. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. It's just a cute song, and I thought it was really sweet. I like it.
Fun fact.
It won't make my top 10, but I like it.
So I had never seen this movie until like last year. And
Okay.
my wife was like, "What? Let's watch it." And I don't think I've cried harder at the beginning of a movie.
Oh, wow.
Like it was bad. I could not handle that little cat and how sad he looked.
It was sad. We've still not done that on the podcast.
That's on our list. It keeps getting pushed.
Yeah, as always happens.
But I have to say, Oliver and Company, number 5 was Good Company. So it's either number 2 or number 5.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Lowe's knows what makes SpringFest savings even better are member-only doorbuster deals. Right now, rewards members can save $40 on an Allen & Roth Chesler Gold faucet. Was $99, now $59. Plus, save $110 on a Cobalt 40-volt battery trimmer and blower combo kit. Was $279, now $169. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 3/24 while supplies last. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Nice. That's why I say they started in this thing without even maybe realizing it. But yes, Howard Ashman. Here we go. Little Mermaid, part of your world.
I mean, I think he was really one of the first people to articulate, at least on camera. I mean, probably the first instance of using this term, the I Want song, it comes from him, right?
Yeah.
And now then it made everyone go, oh yeah, you're right. So sometimes it just takes some person just to vocalize something for it to make sense. And so from here on out, basically every single movie since then will have one of these. But part of your world, are you kidding me? I mean, I still can't believe that this song was almost cut, or wasn't almost cut from the film because Ashman put a squash to that. But they were attempting to cut it from the film because it didn't play well with, the kids' candy that dropped in the test screening. But this one is just, it's so good. It's her alone in her grotto, just the different poses and animation at the very end where she's reaching her hand out. I mean, so iconic. I if this isn't on people's list, I don't know what they are doing, but this has to be for sure on the top.
We could do a whole episode about this song alone. It's just it's like the perfect example of an I Want song. And it has that, like, the incredibly clever lyrics from Ashman using fake words like what's it's and thingamabobs.
Who's it's?
Yeah, it's like the quintessential I Want song. It's just so good. I don't even know what to say about it.
100 out of 100.
And it is number 5 on the track list.
Oh,
just putting it out there. For Beauty and the Beast, this one I wasn't quite sure. Is this going to be the number 2 track, which is Belle, or would it be Belle Reprise, which I kind of see as there's the same thing, just an extension of the same thing. So maybe it's the same.
I count them as separate.
Yeah, me too.
But, okay.
And I would say that the reprise is almost more of the I Want song, because she doesn't sing a lot in Belle, and in the other one she literally, like, I want adventure in the Great White Somewhere.
Right.
Which is another, like, I have a playlist of I Want songs and I have a playlist of reprises because they're so good too. So
see, we picked the right person to come on. We were asking, you were on our Encanto episode. We're like, hey, do you want to join us for this one? And you're like, actually, yes, I have a playlist all of just I Want songs. And we're like, well, we could not have picked a more perfect person to join us today. Someone who actually does their homework.
Yeah, if you want to do an episode about reprises, I will be back.
Okay.
We can talk
I'm totally down for that.
Yeah, we can talk about the part of your world reprise.
I love the nerdiness of this. It makes me so happy. Okay. And then in Aladdin, track 5, One Jump Ahead reprise.
One
Riff
jump.
raff, street rat, I don't buy that. If only they'd look closer.
Oh, I love it so much.
Would they see a poor boy, no siree, they'd find out there's so much more to me.
Well, now I need to watch Aladdin tonight, so.
Yeah. No, it's so tender.
It does hit.
Yeah.
Was this one of the ones that Ashman wrote?
Yes.
He was just so good.
Yeah. I know. It's like you can just tell. There's just something about it. He was involved and he's there. Yeah. Aladdin's my favorite animated film of all time. And this song, it's so short and so simple, but it's interesting that actually some of these reprises are the ones that are making our list. And they don't need to be this big drawn out number like I think we sometimes see in more modern animated musicals. Sometimes your I Want can just be like, it's interesting. This happens with Aladdin and in Beauty and the Beast. It's kind of after some big moment of tension happens that kind of messes everything up. And then they're kind of off on their own and they're able to have a little moment. With Little Mermaid, she has a big moment, but yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So good.
So next we have Nightmare Before Christmas. This is track 4, which obviously goes against the grain. Jack's Lament. I'm not a fan, but it's there.
Yeah. We can explain the difference by the fact that this is technically a Touchstone picture and not a Disney movie. So that's why it doesn't
I guess, yeah.
But I mean, obviously it is a Disney movie. I like the song. It's not going to make my top 10, but
yeah, same. I'm with you. The songs are nice every once in a while to listen to, but yeah, this song never really does it for me, unfortunately.
The next one, though.
Ooh.
Oh, The Lion King, track 5. I just can't wait to be king.
We just talked.
I just can't wait to be king. We did just talk about.
We
this
talked about this at
extensively
length in our other nerdy couch discussion 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, this is one of the best ones. This will definitely crack my top 10, if not top 5, if maybe the top spot. Stay tuned to find out. But this is just like, this is one that no one can just listen passively. Like, you have to sing along. You have to like,
yeah.
It's just such a good one. And I really like the visuals of it are also so good.
Yes.
I love that change when it begins and it goes into like a different kind of animation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even the character designs are different. Like the animals are more stylized and
yeah,
it's cool.
And one of my least favorite things about the live action, in heavy quotation marks, remake is that this song is like so much slower and they're just like walking around and you're like, no, the other one was so dynamic visually and just it's such a fun song and you're making this boring somehow.
You're ruining it. Oh gosh, yeah. All right, our next movie is a Goofy movie, and track 2, After Today. 'Cause after today, my brains will be snoozing. After today. I just love this song. I love this movie.
What a great movie.
The great thing about a Goofy movie is just that it has had this life of its own after the initial release. I mean, they kind of thought this was just going to be like a throwaway movie, but it means so much to so many people and has just taken on its own level of, amazingness.
Yeah.
It's definitely stood the test of time. I love it.
So for Pocahontas, see, this is how you can tell things just didn't go quite right. Track 6 was Just Around the River Bend, which I actually really like this song. I really do like Just Around the River Bend. The song itself is super dynamic, and I loved it when it came out. It was one of my favorite things. I would randomly quote, one of my favorite things about rivers is you never step in the same river twice. And I told it, I was like, however old I was when this came out. And I like mentioned that to somebody and she's like, did you just quote Pocahontas? So like, yes, I did. So I do love the song, but they broke the formula. So, maybe that's why it had issues.
I still love the story. Like, as much credit as Jeffrey Katzenberg deserves for reviving Disney animation, it just sometimes he just didn't get stuff, and he was so sure that Pocahontas was going to be like the biggest movie of all time, and he was like, who cares about the Lion King? Oh, Jeffrey. We're also recording this on the anniversary of Quibi closing, so happy anniversary to anyone that celebrates.
A year already? Wow, that is so funny. Yeah, it's interesting. Speaking of Pocahontas and Avatar is very much a Pocahontas, sort of more or less Pocahontas in space.
Yeah,
and that ended up being the biggest movie of all time at the time. So he did have something. There was something.
That's such a good point.
They just didn't do it the right way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. It is a charming little song. I like Pocahontas generally.
Yeah, a charming little movie. That's a good way of putting it.
All right, so Hunchback of Notre Dame, track 2, is Out There Bringing in the Sun.
These are all so good.
This song.
Like, how am I going to make
went
room
back
on my
and
list?
I re-listened to it. Oh my gosh. The first part, of course, you have Frollo in there doing his thing, and it's just like, oh, go away. But then once he's able to get out and start singing the song about, he's like, these people, like I know all their names, I know everything about them that they show me, and yet I know them more than they could ever know me, and it's just like, oh gosh, heartbreaking. But the actual how the song builds on itself, it just builds to infinity. I just love this song.
It's so good. The music in this movie is all so good. I rewatched it recently, and I just want to love it so much more than I can, the actual movie. It's one that doesn't really mix the very serious tone that it has. Like Frollo is maybe the scariest Disney villain because it's just like a terrifying real life person. And then the gargoyles humor, they just don't mix. But the music is so beautiful. Every song in that soundtrack, I really love.
All right, so moving on to the next one, we've got Hercules, track 5, Go the Distance. This song makes me cry every time.
Yeah, it's so good.
I love this. I play this on the piano all the time. It's just, they just do a really, really good job of just painting what he's going through, what he's struggling with, and, his potential. Go the distances. It's just so motivating too. I just love the opening lines. Yeah. I have often dreamed of a far off place where a great warm welcome will be waiting for me. And it's just, we all want that. We just want to be somewhere where we feel included and loved. And that's what he gets at the end. It's so good.
This is another one that it's just hard to talk about because it's like, it's incredible. What else can I say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They do a great job of all the Watt songs, they tend to, the best ones, I guess you should say, like it is something that we all can relate to in some way.
Yeah, it's that feeling of like longing or yearning that you're like, yeah, absolutely, Hercules. I'll be with you the whole movie now.
Right. Okay. And so the next one we have is Mulan, Reflection, track 2. This song went everywhere when it came out. It was everywhere.
It's a great song.
It is a great song.
And again, like the visuals of like her wiping half the makeup of her face. It's just like so iconic. And you get Lea Salonga singing, and then you're in good hands.
Which, speaking of, there actually is a Disney Princess concert tour. I got a press release from it. Yeah, and they're going like to...
Excuse me?
Let me pull it up.
Where are they going?
They're going like everywhere. Hold on. Sorry.
We need to go with them.
Princess concert. Okay. Oh, spring cast. So they have different casts, but this one, well, so we kind of jumped over it, but this one will have Susan Egan, who's the voice of Megara, the singing voice of Megara. The other performers are Ariel Jacobs, Sydney Winters, and Annalise Vanderpool. But yeah, it's the Disney Princess, the concert, and it's going to be 80 plus cities, and they're just going to sing all over the place, and they're coming to here in Phoenix, and I'm sure they're going to hit up Canada, but yeah, so if you want to hear all of these amazing I Want songs, definitely go. It starts in, they have some starts really mostly in February, all through March, all through April, and then in November of 2022 and December, it picks back up. They're hitting.
So we'll have to put the press release or something in the show
you can
notes
buy some
so
tickets
people
to
can go
that
look.
because it's going to be amazing, and everyone should go if you want to hear all of these amazing I Want songs. And Susan Egan, I mean, that's a good get. Okay, sorry.
That's a great get.
So we are going back to Reflection. Reflection is great. And yeah, Pablo said it all, just the visuals. It's just slow. She's tried her hardest, but she's just not what everyone wants her to be.
So the next, I don't know, in my opinion, you can tell just because they veer off of the normal track numbers, are kind of less than my favorites. But you have Tarzan, and you got Strangers Like Me, and that's track 5. So, okay, they just did that. And then you got Brother Bear.
It's just hard for an I
6.
Want song like to really resonate when like the character themselves isn't singing it.
Yeah, I agree.
Not saying that it doesn't have to be, but I feel like you connect so much more to the character and their struggle when they sing it. Like, imagine if Tarzan would have had a song. I feel like I would have felt for him a little bit more. So yeah, it's funny that we just kind of like yada yada these ones, but there's a reason.
Yep.
Yeah, Brother Bear, On My Way. Home on the Range. I love my little patch of heaven. Track 2, but still not as good. It was just like, All right, so now we're moving into Princess and the Frog, track 4, Almost There, because I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I love this song. It's really good.
I absolutely adore it, and this is actually my wife's favorite Disney song ever.
Ever?
Oh, nice.
So we listen to it a bunch, and we watch the scene a lot because it's also absolutely beautiful. It makes me miss 2D animation so much because just the shift into the animation is so good. It's just such a great song, and I wish that we still got 2D animated movies to see stuff like the visuals in this one. But absolutely love this song.
So the next movie we have is Tangled. Technically on the OST, it is Trek 1, but because we also include, like, there is if you watch the movie, it is the second song that's sung, but it is When Will My Life Begin?
I love this song.
But also, I wasn't quite sure if the actual track 5 of I've Got a Dream, I just want to see the floating lanterns gleam. I don't know which one is the better I Want song. I think the first one, but they're both good. They're both fun.
Yeah, I love that we get When Will My Life Begin, which is great. And we get to know Rapunzel through that. And then I've Got a Dream, we get to know everyone else. So it's such an effective way of meeting the characters, and because obviously all the bandits and the ruffians come back at the end, and you remember them because of I've Got a Dream. So once again, just you give an I Want song to someone, and the audience will remember them and understand them.
That's true. Okay, now we're moving into Frozen, and this one's hard for me because I don't know exactly how this goes. For the First Time in Forever is Anna's I Want song.
Yeah.
For the first time in forever. I love that. I'm not sure, and that is track 3. Track 5, Let It Go. Is that considered an I Want song?
I think so.
I think it's too small of a song, no one ever references or anything.
Right. It is track 5. It is, and but she's not necessarily saying what she wants. She's more saying what I've achieved or what I think so.
It's her I Want, and she's doing it in that moment.
Yeah. Even though I love Let It Go, I would say that if we're talking I Want songs, For the First Time in Forever, it's better. I remember, because there hadn't been a Disney musical in 3 years when Frozen came out. Obviously, we were doing everything we could to hype people up in the site.
Right.
And Disney kept hiding that it was a musical. And then when I first started watching the movie, it was incredible because it was for the first time in forever, we get a Disney musical. We get a huge, everyone's so excited. And so I have really fond memories of that song, and I really, really like it.
Agreed. Oh, good times. Good Frozen times.
It was an era for sure.
Yeah. It's also one of those things that you can say by accident, which is for the first time in forever. And then you're like, well, now I guess I got to sing the whole thing.
Exactly. All right. The next one we have Moana and How Far I'll Go. I like it. It's a good song. They did a good job with it.
Yeah, I really, really, really like this. This one's, at least the last time I saw my nephew, it was if my nephew was crying when he was 1 year old, this song would just calm him down right away. So we played it a lot and never got tired of it. It's such a good one, and I love the performance that Ollie Cravalho did in the Academy Award. Such a good song. I really, really love it.
Yeah. Okay, so Frozen 2, is Some Things Never Change an I Want song? Or is it just
I don't think it's an I Want song. It's kind of just establishing the current situation.
Yeah.
Where they're at.
I really like, this is probably the song I listen to the most from Frozen 2. But yeah, I think thinking about it, it's not really an I Want song. It's more of a Belle type of song where it establishes the characters and the place.
Yeah. I mean, it does establish the fact that Kristoff wants to propose, but other than that, it's it is more establishing, more of the rising action of here we are again.
It's actually it's talking about how things never change. So which I Want songs are usually like, I want to change things.
We need to change the status quo.
Right. So that's why I think in Frozen 2, the Into the Unknown is the actual I Want song.
Yeah. In a way, it's more of a reluctant I Want song. Initially, she's like, go away. I hear you, but I won't. But at the end, she really embraces it.
Even like thinking about that documentary that they released on Frozen 2 that we talked about last podcast, that they didn't know what the story was. And it's kind of weird that they didn't stick to the formula, even when they were like looking for a story. It would have been so easy to be like, okay, let's just go back to the basics. Song 2 or 5 is the I Want song.
Right.
But they don't really have a clear I Want song, which is interesting.
All right. And then our last and most recent entry from Encanto is Waiting on a Miracle.
I love this song. It's the best one.
Here goes Papa.
Yeah, I really, really like it. If you've heard the Encanto podcast, you've heard me say that this is also, like, visually speaking, one of my favorite Disney sequences ever. So I'm really, really biased, but I love this song. I've been patient. I've been steadfast and steady. Like, it just has such lyrics that the song has been out for like less than a month, and it's something that my wife and I like sing to each other all the time already. So I think it's a classic in the making.
Yeah. I need more time listening to it because I really only heard it the one time in the movie. So I need to go back and listen to the soundtrack and get it on my list.
Yeah, I'm really sad that Spotify Wrapped doesn't include November in their data, because it would have been really fun to see like, oh, the soundtrack came out November 19th and all the songs are in your top 5 somehow.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so those are all of the songs. Shall we give our rankings?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, Morgan.
Number 10, Reflection from Mulan. Number 9, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Out There. Number 8, Beauty and the Beast, The Belle Reprise. Pocahontas. Number 7, Just Around the River Bend. Number 6, Goofy Movie, After Today. Number 5, I Just Can't Wait to Be King from Lion King. Number 4, Aladdin, The One Jump Reprise. Number 3, A Dream is a Wish. Number 2, Hercules, Go the Distance. And number 1, the I Want song that created all the other I Want songs. The Mac Daddy herself. Part of Your World, Little Mermaid.
Mic drop.
I'll go next if that's okay. So number 10, I have the Belle Reprise. I Want Adventure in the Great White Somewhere. Number 9, Go the Distance from Hercules. Number 8, I've Got a Dream from Tangled. Number 7, First Time in Forever from Frozen. Number 6, When Will My Life Begin? So Tangled gets 2. Good job, Alan Menken. Number 5, Almost There. So there you go. For my wife, it cracked the top 5. Number 4, Waiting on a Miracle. This could go higher in future rankings. Who knows? Number 3, How Far I'll Go from Moana. Number 2, I Just Can't Wait to Be King. And number 1, you just can't argue with it, Part of Your World from Howard Ashman and The Little Mermaid.
So we're 2 for 2 with Little Mermaid on the number 1 spot. We'll see what Chelsea does.
All right, this one is a really hard list for me, and I have moved things around a lot. But we're going to start with number 10, Cinderella, A Dream Is Your Wish Your Heart Makes. Number 9, Frozen 2, Into the Unknown. Number 8, Frozen, For the First Time in Forever. Number 7, Encanto, Waiting on a Miracle.
Yes.
It did make my top 10. So, number 6, Princess and the Frog, Almost There. Number 5, Mulan, Reflection. Number 4, A Goofy Movie, After Today. Number 3, The Little Mermaid, Part of Your World. Number 2, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Out There. It just builds to infinity, and I love it. And then number 1, Hercules, Track 5, Go the Distance.
Wow.
It always makes me cry.
Wow, okay.
All
I love
right.
it. Those are good lists. The problem with these I Want songs is I really feel like they all belong on there. There's so many good ones.
Yeah,
it's just really hard to choose.
From Little Mermaid onwards, when like
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
consciously
Like,
writing an I Want song.
Yeah, that's a classic. Yes, include that. Yes, include that. Yes, include that. So Unfortunately, some had to make the cut. But let us know your thoughts on the best I Want songs. You can go to rotoscopers.com/232 and leave us your thoughts there. You can also hit us up on Instagram, tag us in your stories, letting us know your best I Want songs. And of course, another huge thank you to Pablo, the I Want King, the I Want Song King. You know, he has all the playlists. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. It was a blast having you today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I need to now listen to my playlist all day long and rewatch like half of these movies.
I love it.
I love it. This was actually one of the ones that I've been really looking forward to doing because it is, as Morgan said, the penultimate of the songs in the musicals is the I Want song. So this just made me happy. I honestly spent like 3 hours last night going through each one of these.
We'll include a link to we'll include a link to Pablo's I Want song playlist in the show notes, so everyone can enjoy it on Spotify. We could all go down memory lane together and cry it out.
And I'll make sure to include all the ones we talked about.
Oh yes. Oh, I know. Oh yeah, maybe. I mean, what we included in our I Want song playlist may not be ones that you want included on your playlist, but if you want to create an alternative one, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We'll make it.
You do you, Pablo. It's your list.
All right, that's all that we have for today. Until next time, we are the Rotoscopers. Don't be a stranger. If there's a movie that you're like, hey, I need to be on this, all you have to do is ask and we will say yes. So.
It's so funny because I think all year I was like, I need to be on that Encanto podcast, but like I haven't read it in like 5 years. Is it just like
no. Life goes on. It's a-okay.
Yeah, fair. But I will definitely be back more often, especially because I feel I would love to talk about Turning Red when that comes out.
Oh, yeah.
That would be fun, yeah.
It's set in Canada.
We'll put you in on our calendar.
The only time I've ever been to Canada was on a layover from Phoenix to Brazil.
Wow. They really went the wrong direction there, huh? That's so unfortunate.
Why?
It was the cheapest one I could find, and I was like, you know what, we're just gonna do it. I'll say I've been to Canada now.
Let's go the wrong way first.
Nice.
That's so funny.
To the true north, down to the down south.
But yeah, and if you ever need a guest, I will drop everything and do it.
Thank you.
You're amazing, Pablo.
You've been listening to the Animation Addicts Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and be sure to leave us a 5-star review. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want to help spread the word, be sure to share the podcast with your friends on social media. Just don't forget to tag us at Rotoscopers on Instagram and use the hashtag Animation Addicts. For all the links and full show notes for this episode, go to rotoscopers.com/podcast. Now, if you still can't get enough for your animation fix, be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and visit rotoscopers.com for more animation news